Hip hop has been in Louisville for years. I mean over 20 years. I'm talking about it's been around for a long time. And what's been interesting about the hip hop here, that it has followed the trends of national hip hop. So it wasn't like backwoods or backwards, we were doing something. No, the guys that were doing it 20 years ago was actually doing what it is that they heard and what they saw and what they were emulating, man. I mean, YGB. I remember YGB with Big Azzy Has in them and G Sharp and those cats and Divine. I mean, they were actually putting out good music. Hazzy was actually recording music in his mama's living room. In his mama's living room. And rest in peace to Big Azzy Has. You know what I mean? He died way too early.
Father Ja, he was real popular back when when the hip hop was along the same lines of what the elements of hip hop involved. And through him, I had met Native, who was actually one of the first artists I met who had a deal.
Hip hop started in 1979, brother. I was born in 1975. You know what I'm saying? So me and the gang grew up together. You understand what I'm saying? There is no beginning, no end to what I do. Now I started putting out projects in 1992. You know what I'm saying? In 1992 was when I put out my first cassette tape, not a CD. I put out my first cassette tape called Countdown to the Beatdown. And though I was only 16 years old, I funded the whole project out of my own pocket. You know what I'm saying? Right. Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. You know what I'm saying? Seeing is believing. Thank you, my brother McFly. The future for Louisville hip hop depends on what Louisville hip hop decides to do with itself. I say one of the fundamental problems with Louisville hip hop is that it don't know its roots. You dig what I'm saying? They trying to sell a record versus trying to absorb, embody, and represent the culture. And with that culture of hip hop in Louisville, we are part of that foundation. You know what I'm saying? And any tree that doesn't honor its roots is bound to die. Straight up and down.
The state of hip-hop in Louisville is in a real emergency, just in the sense that a lot of the artists just don't know what to do.
Business, they got to understand that a lot of this industry is probably 90% business, 10% talent, definitely.
You're doing everything independent, so like everybody said they want to see T-Razor come out with something, you feel me? Everybody like, same difference with me, but when we come out with something, who's gonna buy it? You just want me to come out. You want me to go spend a couple $1,000s just to put a CD in your hands for you to listen to, but you're not gonna let nobody else hear it. You're not gonna shout me out on your Facebook or your Instagram, but you're gonna shout out Lil Wayne. You know, it's just like it's the same difference. I feel like we brothers are the same struggle for real.
You have to take care of everything before you can jump in front of a stage or jump in front of a camera. All the T's got to be crossed, all the I's got to be dotted, and just, you know, having that work ethic, you know, having people on your team to have like a serious work ethic, I mean, it makes it all happen.
Quit wasting valuable time hating on the other man and then go back to the lab and improve your game plan. You know, and the rock community in this city is brilliant about that. I can't tell you how many times, you know, I've run into members of different local groups that if they see somebody playing at a club, they'll walk up on stage, pick up a guitar or a bass or whatever, sit in, no problem. Everybody has a good time. We need to have that kind of mentality as a hip hop community.
Like I said, just help the movement. That's basically what I say. Just help the movement. If you like something you hear, help the movement. If it's from passing out T-shirts, passing out flyers for that person, helping it buying 10 of his CDs, or help him sell his CDs or his or her CDs, or I mean anything help.
I feel like all of our efforts are geared towards all of our showcases. Everything I do is set up where it's mainly just artists in front of artists, or artists dealing with artists. Nobody's positioning themselves in front of the people.
Buy. You buy now. Buy. Buy. Hurry up. You buy now. You buy now.
So the crabs in the barrel mentality has to stop. You have to use each other as a resource.
Anything can lead into something bigger than what you think. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge a book by its cover. You know, so you got to treat every opportunity as if it's the same opportunity.
It makes it harder for the music to spread. It's like people's being stingy with their fans almost.
The station that I work for, which is B96.5, just recently was kind of involved in a minor protest.
Louisville hasn't been polluted by the industry because we're not really a major music hub.
It ain't like Cali, it ain't like New York, it ain't like Texas, man. You know, so people got to grasp that concept and think outside of the box.
Louisville, we looked upon as the best city in Kentucky, so it's like the most known. So when you represent Kentucky, you think Louisville. You think Louisville, you think Kentucky.
People think we walk around strong in our cowboy hats and bare feet, and it ain't nothing like that, especially in the Ville. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some places in Kentucky that you can find that, but not in Louisville.
You a person that matters, and you saying you're gonna stand here and you're gonna represent this city, then represent it, you feel me? But you gotta represent it the right way.
And in a city like Kentucky, and we're in Louisville, in a state like Kentucky, it's like you gotta appeal to more than just the hood. And you gotta appeal to more than just the pop.
And if it was really about your city, if it was really about where you are, what you're doing where you are, and who you're helping, then you wouldn't have no problem sharing what you know with the people around you.